Welcome to my first podcast episode. My guest today is Travis Garcia-Brownlee. He is a longtime friend of mine and founder of Blueprint Soccer Academy. In this episode, we cover what it's really like to run a small business, what he thinks of work-leisure balance. We talk about how to become both happy and successful at the same time, if goal setting is necessary, how to distinguish between a hobby versus a career interest, how his family life shaped him, dating as a young man in Seattle, his self-improvement journey, and much, much more. Without further ado, here is Travis Garcia-Brownlee. Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night. Just proves how little I've been listening to Joe Rogan recently.
Dude, it's been like 6 months since I've listened to this podcast, not gonna lie.
It's just all like comedians and...
I don't mind like the different people. Like the people that come out there, like not the comedians, I like listening to them because it's like, oh, you're bringing on a scientist or you're bringing on something. It's like, oh, okay, something I don't know about. I want to hear about something I don't know. Like comedians, I can go listen to comedians.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do like his interview style though. Like he always has questions. He's always willing to learn, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've been trying to take notes from the podcasts that I've been listening to recently, just to like get an idea.
What do you listen to?
I listen to Modern Wisdom, most mainly actually. He's like, have you heard of him?
No, I haven't. I mean, I haven't listened to podcasts in 6 months, literally.
Oh, podcasts?
No, any, right? Lately, I don't know why I've been just on this hiatus of it, but I do enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I do enjoy it from time to time. I mean, when I have long stretches of time, so long car drives, or I know I have a gym workout or something, I call it good.
Hell yeah. And what podcasts do you listen to when you do that?
Well, I mean, again, I told you, 6 months. It's usually Joe Rogan, right? Put someone on interesting. Mm-hmm. But look at this. I go on a hiatus for a while, then there's multiple interesting... There's a few interesting ones in between all the other BS, to be honest, so...
Because how much are you working?
Right now, well, the thing is that's a number can't really quantify it because it's like when I'm not working, not technically working, like I'm just like not physically moving and stuff like that. I'm like texting parents, you know, connecting people. I am getting stuff done, right? I'm getting the background stuff done. So I don't really work a certain amount of hours.
Well, count everything. Count everything.
Anything
that's contributing towards your business or your future.
Including my other job. I'm probably working 50 hours a week, I would say. I don't know, maybe a little less, but I definitely think it's more than 40. People always joke about me because I don't work the 9 to 5, so I don't actually work technically at 40, but I'm like, well, there's a lot of other stuff that goes in it, but they're joking with me, which is fine. I don't.
Yeah.
It only weighs on my mind sometimes. Sometimes like, oh, am I doing enough? Right, that's that's what I always regress back to, but then I gotta remember, it's like, dude, they're just fucking with you.
Do you talk with many people who have that kind of like 9 to 5 job?
Oh yeah, absolutely I do. I mean, my best friend, right? Rob, he's 9 to 5, but he doesn't make fun of it. He understands that it's a lot of work. But there's other people I know that I'm good friends with, but I'm not as close with, that they're like, oh yeah, you don't actually work 40 hours. I'm like, no, it's like they don't really understand. Then I talk to them, they're like, no, dude, we understand. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting to see your mindset because, like, that's something that I'm thinking about and going through right now. Because I want to go the business route. I want to own my own business because I think that's the best way to financial freedom.
Yeah, I think I personally I love it. Okay, I know it's not for everyone, but if you're willing to put in the work. Yes, it's going to take up a lot of your attention. It's going to take a lot of your time and everything like that. And you're not going to have as much time for certain things where you're like, you put off things where you're like, oh, I actually can't do this because I work here. Or I can't go to this vacation right now because I have to put in the work. But the thing is, when you put in that work, what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. I mean, I know that's so cliche to say, But it's true, dude. It's so true. And yes, there's times where you can work really, really hard and stuff can't work out. That does happen. But from my experience, a lot of the time, as long as you're working hard towards your goals and still having fun in between, right? You can make it. You can make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you ever feel tension or like a sense of like kind of not wanting to do work? Like, do you wake up in the morning and you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this?
I'd be lying if I said no.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it comes in my head. It'll pop in my head, and then I start thinking, it's like, well, dude, would you rather be working for someone else? No. And then you snap out of it, and you're like, no, I'm going to go do my work. And even when I'm laying down after, in between my shifts or something like that, I have a little break, and I have to get up after sitting down on the couch, I'm be like, no, but dude, you're just going to go do what you love. Like, I know you're tired, but at least you're tired while you're doing something you love to do, so it doesn't make it not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
Yeah, what's your work-leisure balance?
Oh. Yeah, that's the one thing where I'm trying to find a little bit more time for myself, which I think is really hard, honestly. And I think that comes not only from me, but my family and how they relax, because they don't really relax, and nor do I anymore as much. Maybe when I was in high school more and stuff like that, when I was a little bit more, I don't want to say, I was more lazy, right? But now that I have goals and I have things I want to get to, things I want to make happen and all that, I know, leisure time, I love it, but at the same time, it's far and few.
Is that because, so this is, with myself at least, leisure time almost feels like junk food. It's like, I know I'm going to feel like crap afterwards.
Yes. And it's so funny. I was having a conversation. Sorry for interrupting.
No, go for it.
I was having a conversation with another coach today about it. I just was like, I told him, I'd rather feel tired after a long days of working than tired after a long day of doing nothing. Because you feel tired either way. We all know that feeling, right? But it's just like, I feel like I got nothing done if I didn't go to the gym or go practice or coach a kid or run a camp or do anything to elevate myself or move myself forward. I'm like, oh my God, even if it's one day, I'm like tripping. It's like, I'm doing nothing, you're lazy, you don't do anything, and I don't know, that's a whole mentality thing, a thing that needs to change, but that's a slow process thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, do you ever feel like tension in your chest when you feel like you're not achieving as much as you'd like to?
I wouldn't say I physically feel it. I definitely mentally feel it. I don't think I would say I physically feel it. But it's interesting. What do you feel that way?
Yeah. Especially with regards to music production. Like, I'll have all these like creative ideas and I'll be thinking about them, like especially like before bed, and I'm like, man, I wish I spent more time working on music. And then when like I get to making music, I haven't set up the discipline to like actually make progress towards my goals, or like meaningful progress. And there's been like a lot of tension between me and like actually producing music. I've made 2 songs this summer, and it's just not going where I want it to go, and that could also partially be that I might just not want to turn music into a business. Maybe it's just like a hobby. Maybe I'm pushing myself like too hard. Like I'll spend like 15 hours a week, 10 to 15 hours a week making music.
Well, it's interesting because one, I don't know the music world very well. But think about it on the flip side. You made 2 songs this summer. That's more than me. Right? That's a step forward.
Yeah.
It's not a step backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's small. It may not be as big as you want it to be. Like my first year of coaching and doing my own business, I was barely making it. I'm glad I was with my parents, right? Because I was barely making it. It was not good, but it was such small steps. And then you take the one right big step forward. And mine was definitely joining my club, because that boosted me way farther up than I would have expected.
How so? Just networking, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Networking. I think number one thing is talking to people, being personable with people.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to like give them anything. You don't need to get anything from them, but just talking to people is gonna, I think, will boost you. I think will boost anyone that wants to do a business itself.
Yeah.
But again, think about it in a positive way. Going back to what you said, you still took steps forward. It's not like you stayed still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't go as far as you
back to that self-talk thing, because like if I look at it on paper, like I know I've done so much this summer with regards to learning and making music, and on top of that, like I've only been back for 2 months, and I've already completed, like, making 2 songs in 2 months is pretty good. Also with learning music production on the side, and then also pretty much teaching myself how to DJ.
Yeah.
And then also working, and then my internship as well. I think the main thing that builds up these feelings of like kind of like not enough, that kind of thing, like I haven't been disciplined enough, I haven't been productive enough, that maybe you might feel at times, is probably just like a lack of reflection. Because if I put it on paper, then it's like, oh yeah, like that's like impressive. I've been working like 30 to 40 hours a week with everything that I'm doing towards music. But like at the end of the day, I still feel like I should be working more. Maybe I do.
But think about it, that might be just passion too. I want to do more.
Mm-hmm.
Think, put on positive spin.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it, those words in a positive. I want to do more. I want to keep moving forward. I want to take bigger steps. It's okay to be eager to move forward. Right? Again, I think it's mindset, right? Mindset, we're thinking about mindset and everything, and it's how you say it to yourself. Because I want more for myself all the time, and sometimes when stuff doesn't move fast enough, right, I can be disappointed. So again, same thing. I think a lot of us go through this. I don't think it's only us, and that's the part of the learning process where we're literally not the only ones, right? I think that's what makes everything so crazy. So when we do start talking to each other, we're like, oh, you're going through the same thing. So
I think we're not necessarily taught in American society, but we kind of glean that to be successful, you have to make yourself unhappy, or success will bring you happiness. So a lot of people but it's a false dichotomy. A lot of people sacrifice their happiness for the thing that's like supposed to get it, you know? Like when I'm successful, I can be happy, that kind of thing. So they like push themselves to death, and they're really
and what
like
is
strict
successful
with themselves.
and what is successful too. It's like maybe they have no definition, and they just keep pushing to the next successful level, right? And it's just like, wow, you don't feel happy because you put a certain what would you say, like certain level where you should be, and then every time you move that level up, and like, I won't be successful until I go here, and then I won't be. Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to be happy in between. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to be happy living, going through the process. I hate that now that I agree with my parents. Now that I'm here and what age I am and what I'm doing and everything, it's like all the stuff that I would get mad about at my mom for. I'd be like, oh, yeah, whatever. She doesn't know anything, everything. And now I'm saying the same stuff she would say to me. I'm just like, wow.
With regards to business or?
Just regards to life in general. Because a lot of this stuff, it's intertwined with our life too. Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, so you've been saying as you've grown older and started working on your business more, you tend to agree with what your parents think. Or you tend to...
At least what my mom thinks.
I see.
Yeah, I mean... Enjoying the process. Sorry, that's what I was trying to get at. Enjoying the process.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes we forget about that, and we just want, it's like, okay, we're gonna enjoy ourselves when we've accomplished it. It's like me when I'm trying to continue. I'm still continuing playing soccer right now. I'm playing semi-pro, and I want to still play professional. But if I'm enjoying the process to trying to get there, if I don't get there, that's okay.
Do you set goals for your business?
Like, what do you mean? Like, hard goals or, like, kind of, like...
Do you set goals, like, 1 month into the future, 1 year into the future, and do you feel like you should be setting those goals?
No, is the answer to that first question. No. I do not set goals. Maybe I should. But I don't know, it's kind of a yes and no answer.
Or perhaps discipline, like, things that you do daily that bring you closer to your goals, but bring your business further. Like you post on social media quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I took the summer off, to be honest. It was just getting to be too much, but I mean, I have like soft goals. Like, what do I want way in the future? So that's not something like 1 year hard date. This is gonna happen. I try not to set hard goals for myself, and I feel like then I stress myself over it. I set obtainable goals and not unobtainable goals, but high goals. Dream goals, right? Yeah. One would be owning my own facility and being able to let any type of trainer train at my facility. That is a dream goal. But obtainable goal, run a camp next summer. That's obtainable for me. Yeah, I guess I do set goals. But I just don't set it in the same style as everyone thinks, writing it down on paper or stuff like that. No, I just kind of have them in my head. It's like, oh, I'd love to make that happen. But again, I'm not that hurt if it doesn't happen. I think I'm more hurt if my business doesn't move forward. And if moving forward is only small things, that's okay. Like getting t-shirts, that's not a huge thing. Getting stickers for advertising, right? Like my water bottle has my advertising right on it. But those are those small wins. That's okay. And then eventually, right, run a camp. That's a big step forward, in my opinion. Right? Those big steps will come, but it's those small little wins in between. So cliche. I'm just talking cliches, aren't I? Damn.
Has your internal state about your business and like level of career insecurity and anxiety and or goals changed as you've made your business bigger?
Have they changed?
Because I know what it's like right now. Like, I'm in the state where I'm like trying to build something, working on my career, and there's a lot of like uncertainty. How has
they changed? I mean, I would say yes. I mean that's a pretty, but I couldn't tell you specifically what changed. I'd say yes though. And the other thing I was going to mention is, as you move through this process, your career might change, but it might put you in the right career. You right now you're on the path of something you like, but it might divert you to something that's right for you at the same time. I think a lot of people, they end up just doing a job because they want they want a certain amount of monetary value and stuff like that, where it's like they don't follow that. They're just like, oh, this is the set path I want.
And there's freedom in jobs.
And that's okay, but that's okay too. I'm not saying that that's anything wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think there's some people that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. But that's not what I want to do. And yeah, that's a whole. That's a whole other topic. I don't want to get into that.
No, that's fine. I know a lot of people who really like the idea of just like a 9-to-5 job, because you go to work, you work, and then you're at home and you can just chill. It's like there's none of this. I don't want to say like, just like mental real estate. Like,
you're constantly thinking about it.
Constantly.
So you could turn off from your job, right? If I was working for a company, after 5 o'clock, I could be like, all right, I'm done. I'm not gonna think about it until the next morning. I can leave it here. I don't feel that at all.
Watch a show, play with my kids.
Yeah, no, I do. I'll watch shows and everything, but my phone buzzes. It's a text. It's this. This has to get done. This has to get done. Your schedule has to get done before fall, and I don't know. I think it's a constant thing with me, but I think it's also who you grow up with too. I think it's parent, too.
Based on which path you decide to choose, or that ability to turn off your working brain?
I would say both. Because both my parents have run their own businesses. That's what I've grown up seeing. And I also know they don't turn off. They're constantly... It's constant work. And it was especially my dad all my life, right? It's work call after work call after work call, right? It's like, oh, gotta go fix this, gotta fix this. Oh, you get a call, like, oh, there's this loud conversation going on here. So, I think it definitely comes down to who your parents are and how you grew up.
Do you find you fall into that trap of working too much? Or just being on too much?
On too much. I would say on too much. I mean, it's because I do enjoy work too. I do enjoy it, but do you really call it? Sometimes people say, do you really call it work if you really do enjoy it? And I do. Doesn't mean it doesn't make me tired though. At the end of the day, working with kids for however many hours I work on a certain day, it's like, wow, I'm wiped out. I mean, it makes me appreciate teachers so much more. Because they gotta be just, especially the younger ones, the kindergarten, first grade, second grade, you just gotta be like, oh wow. How do you function? I mean, you gotta be a special person, honestly.
Gotcha. Let me just pull up my list of questions.
Edit this one out.
Edit this one out. What's your social security number? Just real quick.
What's your PIN? What's your card? Show the card on your camera.
Dude, I almost got scammed recently.
Really?
Yeah, I was buying a DJ board online, and this guy, like, clear red flags, like, but, what is it? Retrospect is 2020 or something.
Yeah.
Vision is 2020. He was like, oh, I don't trust OfferUp's payment system. So
to the email.
I'll tell you. So he wanted to ship it to me outside of OfferUp, and he was like, I'll ship it to you. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I'll pay for shipping. And then he said, once it gets to you, you can pay me for it, if it's like all working and stuff. And it was interesting because I was the one who offered to pay for shipping, and he sends me this shipping receipt, and I'm like, okay, everything looks good, can you send me the tracking number? And then things got a little fishy. He was like, oh, I need you to pay for shipping before I can get the tracking number. And I was like, what? That just doesn't make any sense. And then I brought it into my internship, and my coworkers, I told them to look at it, and the receipt is fake. It's like
That's crazy.
Let me show you this really quick. For all the listeners out there, no.
For all the listeners out there, I almost got scammed.
Why did I just go? I just went to your iMessage page to show you the receipt from this guy. Let's see. Yeah, take a look at this. But just
why does it look like so square? He's gonna scam you out of $84.
Yeah.
But weren't you supposed to pay it when the thing was delivered?
Yeah, but that was just for like shipping.
Oh.
But just like a crazy like scam. It's like
I don't know. Yeah, it does look fake. Not gonna lie. It looks too uniform.
Yeah, it's way too uniform. But yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Dude, people scam it anyway. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's like he spent like a whole day texting me. I was like trying to figure out if he was legit, trying to get the tracking number.
Did he get mad? He's like, I need this.
He was trying to like hurry me. Okay.
Dude, if those people were like more nonchalant about it, I feel like they'd scam more people.
Exactly.
They'd be just like, "Yo, no, it's all good. Just let me know. Like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. You know, just let me know." Like,
but I think it's only weirdos that do it. Like,
yeah, bro.
I was on a call with him. He sounded like he was like on drugs. He was like slurring and.
Oh my god.
It was weird. All right, what's something you're interested in right now? Could be like personal development wise. Could be anything.
What's something I'm interested in right now?
Could be an idea, could be a hobby.
The thought of, am I really... I'm contemplating right now, this is part of the contemplation. Do I really still want to go play professional soccer? I bounce between yes and no all the time. Yes, I want to play competitive soccer, but do I want to play professional soccer?
Is soccer a hobby, or do you want to make it into a...
It's a job. It's a job. Dude, it's a full-time job. Playing already.
Yeah.
It already feels like a third job. I have fun, don't get me wrong, but it's a different type of fun. So when we were out at the field the other day, like a couple weeks ago, dude, that's the first time I've had a kick around in years. I'm like, I think I was like, oh my god. Dude, how's it been this long since I've actually just had fun kicking the ball? Not like scrutinizing everything that I do. It's like, oh, I should have done this. I should have done this. No, it's like, no, just shoot the ball, miss the goal. Who gives a shit? Like, oh, try this thing. Look weird. Look like you don't care. It's been a long time since I've done that, and I think that it will take doing more of those to really get... It's not that I lost the love for it, because I still really enjoy playing. I love the competitive aspect of it, but the goofiness of this, like, just the messing around of the sport. I don't know how else to explain it. But contemplating, that's what I've been interested in, is contemplating.
Contemplating in general, or contemplating...
If I should play pro or not. I mean, that's what I've been... Besides that, dude, all I do is work. I think that's where I become, I don't want to say boring, but I am, because that's all I do. I wake up, I work, I go to my second job, I go to sleep, and then I go to practice, which is work, essentially. Which is okay, but it definitely, having no real hobbies, I've seen it's like, oh, this is weird. I don't really have hobbies. I don't really do anything else. Also, I've been trying to do other stuff, like go down my way to do fun stuff. So when you said this, I was like, yeah, totally down. Do the podcast? Yeah. Let's just talk. Like, It's something different, right? Yeah. Like doing like small trips. I want to do small drives. I want to do some hikes, stuff like that, because it breaks up my stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for you, right? So you say you're contemplating between, is music a hobby or a job? Yeah. Do you think you'll be good at distinguishing what part of music is a hobby and what part of music is a job?
Yeah, it's like... it's at the point where I'm just doing a lot of reflection, trying to figure out what I want my life to be like in the future, and this could be relevant to what path you decide to choose, because it's like, what kind of life do I want? And I think I want my own business. I was considering between pretty much 3 different options. Either like making music, going to college and studying like biology, or like physiology, like human biology stuff, human body stuff, or going to school for business.
Okay, next question for you. Then what, do you like going to college?
No, but my parents are helping me pay. So I figure I might as well get a degree. And I think I want the life that a business would give me. I decided after, actually, I talked with some naturopaths as well, just because that's stuff I'm interested in, but I think I'm just interested in it as a hobby. And that's something that I've been kind of distinguishing lately between, is like, what's a hobby and what's something I want to turn into a career, because I'm kind of in this in-between phase where, like, I need to know, like, what I want to do for money, and, like, I have things that I'm good at and I have things that I enjoy, and, like, biology and, like, fitness is one of those that I really enjoy, but I don't want to be a scientist. I don't want to be a physical therapist.
Yeah, and do that physical therapist stuff. I have friends that are still in school for it. Graduated 2019. They still got probably another 4 more years.
Yeah, and then it's just into, like, this is pretty cynical, but just into just 9 to 5 job, like.
And again, it's not something that you want. You don't want the 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you go on a path that sets you into that?
Exactly. Yeah, and that's my thought as well. Is like, I might be interested in it, but I don't want a career in it. Am I interested in music, but I don't want a career in it? Because it's like, what it takes to have a career in music is like, you gotta be pretty damn good, and you gotta work on it a lot, and it's gotta be your life, like all.
As of any career.
Yeah, but even more so with music, like, especially the people that get famous young, they really dedicate their lives to it. Like, it's like they have no life outside of it. Like, I don't want to liken it to you with your like soccer stuff, but these people, it's like all they do is like eat, sleep, and breathe music. But I have so many hobbies and things that I want to work on, that when I work too much on music, I'm neglecting other things that I want to do, so I feel tension there. And then when I work on these other things, I'm like, I'm not spending enough time making music.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to find that balance, because you will have to give up certain things. I mean, it's such a simple thing. You're gonna have to give up certain things, and I definitely, as I've said, I've given up certain things to be where I am at today. Certain things I would love to be able to do, but again, that financial freedom when you're older. I mean, money isn't everything, but it definitely is something. Right? If I could do my job for free, I would, because I absolutely enjoy training kids and doing soccer and seeing them grow and all that. And if I could continue playing soccer too at the same time, even better. And I've given up, hanging out with friends all the time, right? I've given up, some of those hobbies that I had as a kid, woodworking, doing all this kind of fun stuff with family time, giving up a bunch of family time, right? I especially when I was really pushing to go professional, it was like, oh, it's your birthday, sorry, I had practice. Sacrifices. And that's what our coach said to us. He said, you're going to have to sacrifice things. You're going to have to sacrifice time. It sucks. But the people that, you know, that love you, that support you, you're going to understand. So it's like I missed my brother's birthday. I missed my mom's birthday. I missed friends' birthdays. And I turned down certain events. And I gave up, you know, doing some of my hobbies that I definitely had during high school and my years of college soccer and all that. And it sucks. And it sucks to reflect back on it. But also I was like, wow, I love where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade anything for where I am now.
Yeah.
So it's again, what are you willing to like sacrifice?
Yeah.
To get what you want? Like how much? I'm not saying sacrifice everything. I think that's bad too.
I think the problem was for me is I don't know what I want.
That's fair.
So
continue just doing what you're doing then.
Very wise,
What I'm interested in, I'm interested in buying cleats. That's what it is.
Hell yeah, dude. And we are live, baby.
We're live. Good to hear. You have to see these pair of cleats, though.
Oh, yeah.
This is what I'm getting. I made them custom made. That's all that's there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just like custom print on the sides?
Yeah, so no. The color, gold, everything is like custom. I put everything custom. And the stud pattern on the bottom of the... It matters, dude. It matters what type of studs you have. It's so weird now that I've gotten into this, like, in the world of soccer, dude. It's just certain little things, little nuances matter. All right, back to what we were talking about earlier. We were talking about what you want in the future.
Oh, yeah, man, good memory.
As an overall, not just for your business, but for yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, I have this all written down.
Not at the top of your head? Come on.
Dude, you know what I put as like the top quote? You know what's really hard? Insisting on discipline for unmade goals or goals that you don't have. What pushing yourself with no end goal in mind.
Oh.
So it's like when you don't have a trajectory, when you don't have a goal, and you try to stay disciplined to something that's not even existent, it's hard.
Because where does it end? But
yeah.
Why would you want it to end too? Enjoying the process, yeah.
So I want to be my own boss. I want enough money to travel 1 month, twice a year. So I want to make like at least $100,000 a year. I think that's probably more than enough. I'm not a big spender. I don't need a lot of money.
Okay. Family-wise, what do you want? Family-wise. That's what I mean as an overall, like.
Yeah. So I want to have a wife and I want to have kids at some point.
Yeah, good to hear. Because there's a lot of people out there that don't.
Yeah.
My generation, then probably the next generation after me. Less and less.
Yeah, and it's not just like a phase too. Like my sister, she feels that way, and she was like, she told me, she was like, I wish you would stop challenging me on this. Like, I just don't want to have kids. Because, like, whenever she brings it up to our family, my dad's always like, oh, no, you'll want to have kids, yeah, when you're older. It's just a phase. But, like, she's been this way, like, her whole life. She hasn't wanted kids. Like, maybe she just doesn't want kids. Like, that doesn't sound like a good life to me.
Yeah. And,
but,
you know, again, it's interesting diving into other people's lives and trying to understand why they think their motivations, right? Yeah. It's like, I wonder why they think that. But that's when you need these conversations, right? Like, I want kids, and I've always known I wanted kids. Like, that's, And again, I think that's from the culture I grow up in. I think it's the family I grew up. As much as, shit's fucked up, but you know what? When I was born, shit was fucked up too. So it's like, what's the difference? And I get to mold someone else and someone that's my DNA. Bro. Come on now.
Indoctrinate them. You get
yeah, indoctrinate.
Yeah, bro.
No, but again, mold that person, and I think that's a huge thing. I think that's a huge thing. Yes, it's gonna be a whole lot of work. I mean, I just get a glimpse of it doing coaching, just a tiny glimpse. But it's like the benefits, in my opinion, outweigh the negatives.
Yeah, and like best case scenario, you can raise them on the things that you wish you would have been raised on.
Mm-hmm.
Which is inspiring.
How do you try to keep yourself from, I don't want to say becoming your parents, but doing the things that you didn't enjoy as a kid?
How to keep myself from parenting a kid like that again?
Or, no, like, how do you keep yourself from becoming, I want to say becoming your parents, but yes.
Becoming the person that my parents tried to raise me to be?
No, like, how, like, the things that you didn't agree that they did as...
as parents.
As parents, yes.
Dude, I got lucky and had pretty good parents.
I think they're great.
They're pretty great. Like, we obviously have our issues, but, it just, I don't think parents honestly have a lot of control over how their child's life goes. Because, like, think about everything that you've become, like, well, I guess your parents put you in soccer straight off the bat.
No, there was an influence. I mean, they definitely influenced the way, how I think and how I treat other people. And, you can really see, interest. You can, I would say interest is a little bit more malleable, but they definitely, I don't want to say pushed me to who I became today, not knowing that, they didn't know who I was going to be, but they definitely influenced who I am today 100%.
I agree with that. Okay. Yeah.
But my worry is the things I didn't like. Will I do those same things?
I see.
And that's where I get a little bit more worried. Or will I have those bad things that I don't? Will I become that?
Mm.
Or will I be able to resolve? Not that I won't have bad things. That's going to happen. There's going to be things that, quote unquote, my kids don't like or something like that. But will I become what I don't like? I don't know how else to explain.
Yeah, no. I feel like becoming, like, that just comes from, like, an unevaluated life. Like, if you stop doing self-improvement, if you stop reflecting, then your kind of, like, base tendencies, which were, like, created by your parents, by your childhood, they'll take over. Like, what you, unless you make, like, a concerted effort to change your behavior. Like, I think this is what most people do, is, like, they're raised by their parents, and then they never, like, reflect or try to improve themselves, and they just go based on that wiring. But I think you can step out of that just by listening to, like, 100 Joe Rogan podcasts.
I think if you just start listening to yourself, you just, like, why do I do what I do? Because it's like, why do I do that? Why would I want to do that to someone? I mean, this is a very general way of saying it, because I don't want to bring up too much stuff. Mm-hmm.
No,
but there's definitely good things. That doesn't want to take away from the good things that especially my parents have done for me. I mean, I wouldn't change anything, because it made me the person I am today. I mean, there's some fucked up shit, but I wouldn't change anything.
Nice.
So, I know, because there's other people in worse situations, and I could understand that.
Now my phone is crashing. First it's my computer. Now
it's Apple, dude.
I don't know. I feel like...
You have the 10?
I think it's an 11.
It looks like a 10.
Yeah, I wonder.
Maybe it was. I don't know.
I have no idea, dude. But it's like, they'd probably just, like, I know I just updated my computer, but it's like, they're doing, like, some fishy shit every few years, like, downgrading the software.
Oh, they definitely do. 100%.
Definitely. So you upgrade.
Well, I'm upgrading in September. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna get my mom my old phone though. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
We are not that seamless with changing topics.
Was there? Yeah, maybe it takes a little more planning. But was there anything on this list that particularly caught your eye?
Can I choose something the anger part.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's talk about that. One. Let's talk about. So I know you've had, like, for me, it's like anxiety, and for you, it's you get like anger. Is it like self-directed anger? And tell me about both of those.
I definitely get angry at myself. Not that I don't get mad at other people, but I definitely get a lot more mad at myself than I do at. And I think that's created through anxiety, right? The anger. I'm a lot better at it now. Definitely as a kid, I was a lot more. As your mom said, I wore my emotions on my sleeves. But it's gotten better, but I also think it comes from my parents, right? The way I grew up. And then my next, this is a little off topic, but it's in the same realm. But it's also finding a relationship or having a relationship or the partner I'm in whatever partner that I end up with, right? Will it be the same as my parents?
See, the fact that scares me. The fact that you're concerned about that means that probably it won't be. I think awareness. I don't know, but it's like in your fucking blood to be attracted to the kind of relationship that your parents had.
That's why I'm freaked the fuck out, dude.
Yeah.
Like you know what? That is probably my biggest fear. Right there.
I think just if you date enough, I don't know, you've dated a lot, but
I've not dated anyone.
You've done a lot of...
I've been with a lot of people, let's just go with that.
A lot of self-discovery.
And a
lot of discovery of other individuals.
Yeah, a lot of self-discovery. Yeah, for sure.
Men and women.
Jesus. But it's just like, I don't want to have the relationship. I mean, I look at it and I'm like, fuck no.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't think that's something to be concerned about.
I don't know. I mean, that's just me because, I mean, am I gonna be trapped in a similar way? Not the same way, but in a similar way. Because it's like, I don't know how else to explain it. It's because my mom talks about it sometimes. Because her parents' relationship reflects on the relationship she has now. And will it translate down to me? Or will I be that generational change? She says that to me all the time. She says, I'm going to be the generational change. I'm going to... Yeah, I just don't... Yeah, it's that concern of the future. So it does pop in my mind. You know, going back to what you were talking about, right? Indecisiveness and all that. You think it's indecisiveness? Mine is just like, it's not about the indecisiveness, it's just the concern of the future. Right? Thinking about it's like, oh, well, you know, will this happen? I mean, it's like, oh, will I ever have a real relationship with anyone? And I know people, I know a guy that runs, you know Scott Hall, right? You know who he is? Runs Scott Soccer Tots.
Oh, so, yeah.
Dude, he's never had he's never been married before or never had kids or anything. I was like, dude, it's like, well, he's around these kids all the time and all that. Does he like supplement that? was like, am I gonna follow those footsteps? Am I never gonna have what I
Dude,
want?
maybe you need to like move to another place, like, cause maybe the women here just aren't for you.
I don't think so.
You just think you're, or you.
No, like I don't think they're.
agree
No,
with me?
I agree with you. Like I don't think they're for me at all either because I'm a different
breed.
Yeah, no, I'm just a different person from this society we have here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, I think Washington State and like Seattle specifically.
It's all a bunch of dumb hoes, then.
Dude, yeah. And
sorry, that's such a blatant way
and like
of saying
fucking like boomers and like retarded liberal boomer kids.
Rolf would love that quote.
Retarded liberal boomer kids.
And I think that's a big reason why Rolf hasn't had success here either. Definitely cut that one out. No, because I don't think it's the people. I don't think this is his people. I think we found a niche group of people.
To be fair, how many women do you actually talk to? Like, 'cause I do not talk to enough women to like really. Like, when's the last time you made like a friend?
That's a girl.
Like, that's a guy.
I'm in soccer. Soccer helps me make friends.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, how about when's the last time you went up to a girl and started chatting her up?
June.
Yeah, and before that?
3 months before, 2 months before.
Yeah.
I'm pretty consistent every few months that I'll talk to someone.
Yeah, that's better than most people. But does it need to be more? I don't know. You're also in a place, and I'm also in a place
Dude,
where like I'm
I
fine
got too
being
much
single.
stuff. Dude, I got too much stuff going on. I mean, I'm letting it, if it happens, it happens. Like, that's not...
Yeah, is that a good mindset to go about it, though?
I feel if you've pushed something sometimes, it just doesn't happen like that. Talking to... It just really has to be the right, like, moment, in my opinion. I feel like if I go up and talk to someone, it's purely based on, like, looks and shit, and it's like, Again, the last time I talked to someone, right, I started talking to someone was June. Still talking to this person, but it's like we were doing something mutual, like we were doing the same thing. And we had the same interests, so I was like, okay, just talk to them, see what their vibe is. Oh, I like their vibe, okay, get their number. But I don't think I have enough of those instances in my life.
That would be like a dog with a bone.
It's like, do you do enough outside things to put yourself in those positions?
Fuck. Yeah, I did this thing where I went up and talked to a person every day after work. I would go to the park and I would force myself to talk to someone. The first day I talked to this old lady about her dog. The second day, I can't remember. And then the third day, I went up to this girl. She was beautiful. A little bit older than me.
Certified beauty.
Certified fucking TikTok influencer, dude. She had
way.
She had like 1 million TikTok followers.
Really?
Yeah.
Certified beauty.
Certified.
Just say it. No, don't say it.
I'm gonna say MILF, but she's like 25 probably, maybe like 30.
Oh, never mind. She's not my age.
You're a DILF. I don't know.
Let's go, bro. 23 and a DILF.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, I didn't talk with any other like prospective or interesting women. I think that might have been the only like attractive woman that I talked to during that period. But it's like I probably went up to like 5 people total, or had like 5 interactions with people. But out of 5, I talked to like a pretty girl who's like interested, and we have like a decent conversation. Like, it's really just like a volume thing, like for dating.
It's a volume question,
yeah, bro.
dude.
She gotta have enough fat in her ass to
Oh yeah, we're keeping this one.
enough volume. She gotta be like D cup, F cup, Z cup.
guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I guess it's the amount of. I don't know. That's why I'm not into forcing, because it's like it will be at the right time. Again, how did people back in the day do it before Instagram, before this all the other crap?
Before we're us like Gen Z.
But is it
beta
also?
males.
But is it bad that this is how we're? It's not that it's moving forward or backward. It's like just moving. Is it bad the way we're moving, or is that just how it is?
I think it's bad. I think
it's bad too, but it's a question.
Like, people are just fucking lame nowadays. Like,
they all
it might be that we just need to like move to a different area.
This guy moving to Kenmore.
Yeah, bro. That's gonna be hype. Oh, I'll be in Bellingham though.
I'll be here for a year. I'll be in Kenmore for a year.
Okay.
I'm moving 2 cities over.
Closer to me.
I mean, you can come over.
If you
it's
want.
It's not that different. It's literally not going to be much different. Other than having my own place, and there's going to be 4 people or 5 people.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole relationship thing, I still think it's weird that I've never been in one. Yet to this day.
I don't know.
But also, maybe that's what makes me different.
Dude, I honestly think it's just like a luck thing.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Like,
this is funny. There's a conversation I had with your mom too.
Yeah.
Mom's really good at having conversations.
My mom says you need to do your bookkeeping.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you need to get on it.
I do.
She says that, like, you need to, like, do your bookkeeping.
Okay, I will.
And she doesn't want to teach you, or she doesn't want to help you with it anymore.
That's fine.
Yeah,
dude, I am not. I'm not tripping. I'm supposed to learn anyway. That's the whole point. The whole point is me learning. Right? It's not her doing it for me. That's not what I want.
Do you wish you had a business degree?
Me? Why not? Yes. So, I would have been more educated in what I am doing now. I mean,
has it been hard, or has it been pretty easy to like kind of just figure it out along the way? Watch YouTube videos, ask people about how to.
I mean, that's what I would like to do, is be able to, but I also have to retain the information. I have to learn it and then continue going.
What are some things
that's the reason why I don't text your mom. That's why I don't like try to ask her for advice. That's why I'm trying to do it myself. Like, I don't want to bother. She has so much other responsibilities. Like, I don't want to be like, she's my bookkeeper or stuff like that. No. If I need an occasional help, but I don't like asking for help.
Yeah.
I don't want any help. That's a whole other issue in itself, never asking for help.
What are some things that you wish you knew about before, or what are some things that you didn't know that would come with a business, or what are some things that you do business wise, like just maintaining your business?
Making sure my equipment is all good, right? Purchasing equipment, making sure I continue advertising, talking to people. That's a big one.
Let's talk like governments, like stuff that you should have, like stuff that you would learn in school that would be beneficial for.
Oh, accounting.
Yeah.
I mean, number one. Learning all about the taxes and all that, and what I can and can't write off, and doing all that type of stuff. Dude, that's what I would want to learn. Like, I want to be able to just like know. Like, or if it's something hard, can I look it up and maybe kind of understand it, instead of when people are talking, I'm like, what? You've lost me. Like, you're talking about something crazy. Now, I really appreciate your mom helping me out. It's great. Mm-hmm. Starting me up, all that. But I do not expect her to keep it up.
All right, enough about my mom.
Sorry, I just like, I'm fixated on it.
Yeah.
Taxes.
Taxes,
That's
accounting, Excel spreadsheets.
Excel, whatever I can come up with. No, I mean, I started doing Excel spreadsheets and stuff like that to track like, who's in my business. So that's what I want to eventually do. Is I want to have like a list. I can refer back to. It's like, oh, I've had all these people, like, train with me before. I want to come up with some stats. So for at the end of the year, this year, I can track everything that I had and see the growth over the years. If there is growth, if it's stagnated, if it's, done this, if it's regressed, stuff like that. Because I thought about this, about a month ago. It's like, oh, I should count out how many sessions I've had this year because I have them all on my phone. I put every single session that I have is all on my phone since January 1st of this year. I think that would be interesting to see. It's like, oh, have I done 200? Have I done 106 months? Like, what's my average per month? What's, and then, I don't know, knowing the numbers, and then I'll be like, oh, this is my slow time of year. Oh, this is my busy time of year. I need to make sure, like, I am prepared for all that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's a fucking business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the point of a business is optimization and scaling.
Scaling is the hardest. This is one of the hardest things right now.
Yeah. How would you like to scale, and what are your goals for the business? Big goals, short-term goals? Well,
I'd love to have other trainers, honestly. I would love to have other trainers there, but I don't know how to scale it. I'm a little lost because I'm kind of in this where I'm like, I'm by myself right now. Of my own doing, too. Of my own doing, I'm by myself. But how do I get another trainer in there? Make sure they're giving good sessions. Because it's like, okay, you're representing my business. How do I know that you're giving good sessions? The thing about it, when I was working at another company, they were just hiring people straight out of high school and expecting that they would know how to train people and stuff like that. It's like, dude, it's more than just knowledge of soccer or what college you're playing at or, what team you've played on. Because coaching is a whole other level. There's good to have an understanding of soccer, but there's also you need a level of knowing how to coach people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beyond, it's like even though you know Spanish, you could not teach Spanish.
No.
Like, I could teach Spanish because I've learned it like rigorously, and I've taken the time to, for lack of a better word, like, reflect or be, like, mindful of the way that I'm speaking, or, like, like, I've learned it in this, like, such structured way, and it's, like, it's what you're doing with, like, coaching right now, is you've taken the time to scrutinize your own philosophies and practices, but before that, you would just do, you would just, like, you were taught stuff, of course, but you would just, like, do moves without thinking. It's like being a natural Spanish speaker versus someone who's had
to learn it.
Yeah, and if you learned conjugation, like, it would all, like, come to you, and then you'd be.
I bet it would be easy, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, with the knowledge I already have now, but the thing is like, I'm continuing my education. There's so much I have to learn. I mean, I got to learn under a Wolverhampton coach, a Manchester United coach is another coach from Ireland. I got to learn about them. Learn under them this year. That was great. I mean, I learned so many drills, the way they coach. It reinforced the things that I already knew also on top of that, right? I don't know, it's just better refining for me. And I'm also the director at the club. He also has helped me out so much on how I should, I don't want to say how I should coach, because every coach is a little bit different. But suggestions on how you should coach.
You having fun fiddling with that knife?
Yeah, no, I am. But my sessions have definitely been refined since the first day I did it. Right? What was it? August 2021. Yeah, August of 2021 was I first started my business. And right now it's August of 2023. Right? We're 2 years in. And now, I didn't really have a structure when I first started my business. There was no structure behind it. I was just kind of doing whatever. And now, it's like, all right, my first 2 I do 3 drills, maybe a 4th one, if I have time. Usually don't. I do 3 drills. I do 2 technical passing drills, and then I usually try to end with a shooting drill, work on shooting. Unless, that's just an overall, most people get that. Unless I talk to the player or talk to the parents and they want to work on specific things, or I'm with an older player and we're going to work on position specific stuff. Right? There is instances where I change it up, but the general structure is 2 passing technical drills and 1 shooting drill.
So you got it down. You got this like...
Yeah, I have lots of drills. And during the week, at the beginning of the week, nearly everyone gets the same exact session all week long. And then a new session will happen. And then I'll rotate old drills in. So drills that were a month ago, they'll come back in and we'll do the same drills again. We'll see where they're at. We'll come back to it 2, 3, 4 weeks later. Okay, come back to it. I've seen improvement from month 1 to month 3. And it shows me, it's like, oh, I remember when you couldn't do this, and now you're able to do this. Right? It's a small improvement. I'm just a small piece of the pie, but I'm still helping improve that player. I'm putting that knowledge in their head because I am there to, when you have a big team, it's really hard to go up to them like, I really want you to focus on, I want this change, your foot has to change in this way, your body shape has to change in this way. When you have 16 players, 18 players on the field, it is so hard to do that. But when you're 1-on-1 or even 3-on-1, 2-on-1, it's like, oh, I really want you guys to think about this, planting the seed in their head. So then when they go to practice, I remember Coach Travis telling me about this. I'm going to try this out. They try it at practice. They might do it at home. They come to me a month later after they've done sessions with me every week. Oh my gosh, you look so much better at this drill. So much better.
Why'd you choose the path of business rather than 9 to 5, for lack of a better word?
Incompetence of higher ups. I mean, that's a very blatant way of saying it, but yes. I mean, I wanted to do my own thing because I wanted to be able to control what I wanted to coach. Because I think the place I was before, it was very rigid. We could only work on the technical side of soccer, right? When there's the mental aspect, the physical aspect, the technical aspect, and the tactical aspect. Now I can hit those four spots whenever I want. If I want to take a 5-minute break, talk to the kid, be like, hey, this is why we do this on the field, right? Or ask them in what situation would this be, or what position would this be, talking about the tactical side of it, right? Or I want to do, like with one of my groups, I like to do a little bit of conditioning work at the beginning of sessions, like 5-10 minutes of conditioning work. That's because that's my team and I want them to be ready for the season. I'm able to do that. I don't have to fall in line. I need you to get 300 touches by the end of this, like it's a number. I don't care how many touches. What knowledge did you gain out of it?
I see. So it was more from like a kind of love of process, like wanting to do something right and like a passion for it. Less so about perhaps making more money.
No. The money is a whole secondary thing. That's a blessing to have that money.
Yeah.
It's a blessing to have financial freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I couldn't ask for more.
Did you think you would be making this much, or did you think you would be, like, when you started this business, take yourself back. What did you expect from it?
Honestly, didn't even think of the future. Just let it come. I let it happen. I worked through the crappy parts, the kinks, and the rough road and all that. No, I wouldn't. I don't think I would be making the money that I am today. I mean, it's I just remember barely making anything each week. I was $50 a session at the time, and I had 3 clients, maybe.
A day? Or
3 clients total.
a week? Or
a week. So, and then some would cancel or something like that. So I'm making maybe 150 a week.
yeah.
200 maybe.
Oh, wait, really? Like $50 a session?
Well, one was a group of 3 boys.
I see.
So they were scaled upwards to, I think it was about, I was making about 90 for 3 of them. Yeah. $30 a kid. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Or something like that. It was something like that. I was making 75. Sorry, 75 for that session, and then sporadic $50 with another kid. No, I was making 75. On a good week, I was making 175. Here, that was the number.
Gotcha.
On a good week.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
So you would only do 3 training sessions?
A week, yeah.
Why just be...
Because I didn't have clients.
I see.
I didn't know how to get myself out there besides word of mouth. And I still do word of mouth. But I put myself in a position. I got put in a position. I don't want to say I did it. I got put in a position to scale myself.
Yeah, so how do you pick up your clients?
Word of mouth.
How did you start picking up your clients?
So I joined NSC. And at first they were like, hey, we need you to volunteer and see if you're a good trainer or a good coach or anything like that. We need to see you first. And I'm like, okay, sure. And then I had a parent that I knew at NSC, and she vouched for me. And that's how I got on a team. I was like,
as
okay.
As a coach?
Yeah, as a coach. And I just had to quote unquote prove myself. I didn't have to do much to prove myself. And I got to put on the camps. Then those camps, the kids started to recognize, oh, it's Coach Travis, right? It's guy from camp. It's camp guy, right? It's all that. And they recognize me. I'm at the camps at the winter time. Oh, it's Coach Travis. Oh, he runs a business. Then it's talking to parents. They're like, oh yeah, this is what I do full time. But this is what I do part-time. I do camps. But full-time I do run my business and everything like that. And then I pick up, and then I get word of mouth. Oh, they're with Coach Travis. Coach Travis, coach of the NSC. Oh, that's the club I play at. Oh, word of mouth. Oh, you want to train my one kid, and then you can train my younger kid. And that younger kid has friends, and that friend, and then just...
Hell yeah.
Just went like this, like a tree. Right? Just expanded from there. Right, and right now, some people will train with me for a year. One girl's trained with me for 3 years. Well, some will train for 6 months. And if they train for 6 months, then they'll like, every now and then they'll text me like, hey, Coach Travis, we're back from vacation. Can we get some extra touches in? What do you have available? Mm-hmm. I have some sporadic people. I have some consistent people. I have some... Yeah.
That must be pretty exciting. Like, having your own business, like, being your own boss, like, that must be exciting.
Oh, it's great. Absolutely amazing. I mean, I couldn't be happier about it because, yes, the mistakes that are made are on me. Right? The stuff that needs to get cleaned up is on me. Mm-hmm. But I don't have to... When I don't like something, I get to change. I can change it.
Yeah.
Right. If I was like, oh, I don't like how that drill works, so I don't have. I can be like, oh yeah, I don't like that. I'm gonna make a change here. Yeah. So I have complete control over the future of the business and the future of me and all that.
Yeah. Man, that's pretty cool that you got to this position where like you got a real good thing going right now.
Yeah.
Do you expect to do this the rest of your life, or is that thinking too far?
Thinking too far for now. I mean, I would love to, but I'm still thinking of my own soccer career too, like my own playing career. Mm-hmm. And that's contemplation we talked about earlier. Is contemplating between pro and not, and then I think about it. It's like I'm still young. Like this is the time. Like my coaching career will still be here when I'm done playing. Mm-hmm. But my playing career is fleeting.
I'd love to come watch you play. Do you have any...
my first game's this Sunday. 6 o'clock. Snohomish High School.
It's in Snohomish.
Yeah. My home games are in Everett.
I do have that thing this Sunday.
That's fine. I have games every Sunday.
Gotcha. I want to come watch.
Somewhere in Bellevue. Yeah, come out.
Hell yeah.
They're semi-pro games, so you do have to pay to get in. They're like $8 though. They're nothing crazy.
Yeah. Supporting that shit.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. What's also fun is when kids come to watch you play and you play like shit. Dude, I had that happen. It was so bad.
Yeah.
I didn't play like crap. I just missed a couple goals and then they clowned me for it.
That's funny.
But that's okay. Like, it was a whole part of the banter thing.
Yeah.
But them seeing you play, just, dude, it shows like, oh, he knows what he's talking about and he can show what he's talking about. Like,
yeah.
And then if you miss, you could be like, yeah, I made a mistake.
Mm-hmm. And own up to it, and that's that's cool.
And then that's why they clowned me for it for about a week, and that was it.
Oh.
They didn't care. They didn't care at all. They continued training with me because they saw like there's a level that he knows what he's talking about. You can see it.
And there's that confidence that you have from being able to like accept and move on from failure. Like that's something that you didn't always have.
Yeah.
But that you've cultivated.
Yeah, and it's through coaching. A big thing through coaching and learning from coaching. I was talking to you earlier about, right? Has your game gotten better as you've coached? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, it's gotten so much better. So, just more than one thing, right? Coaching translates even to real life. That's what I love, because I remember my coaches. And I know how they translated to my life right now. I understand how each of them affected my life right now. You know, Coach Rob, how he always made sure that you were doing good on your outside life, not just your soccer life. And I do that to all my kids. I said, how was your weekend? What did you do? Did you have fun? What else are you doing? Talking about other things other than soccer to make them feel comfortable.
Yeah, dude. That reminds me of my sister's job. She's a hairstylist, but she's also a fucking therapist. Like, to be a barber, you have to be a good conversationalist.
Yep.
Especially with your job too. You have to be a good conversationalist. You have to be like, the kid has to like you. Like, at the end of the day, like, the kid just has to like you. Yeah.
Hey, you know what makes me feel good is when parents talk to me or text me like, either telling me how much they improved and what they see during the games, or they were always asking me when my next session was. I'm like, dang, they want to be around me. They want to like play. Yeah, and just again going back to like what coaches have given to me. I had another Coach Gregory. It just the sheer determination from him, and I ran into him about a month ago. Which is the weirdest thing. Just out of the blue, randomly, ran into him, and we had a long conversation about stuff, and it felt good. It's like, oh man, I'm on the right path here. Like and the more and more I go through life, the more and more life is telling me you're on the right path. With this, whatever you're doing right now, playing, coaching, doing everything, you're onto something here. You have a knack for it. Yeah. Yeah. What time is it? Oh my god.
It's 9:10.
Holy shit.
Let's see if there's maybe one last question.
Yeah, one last question's good with me.
Okay. Let's see. Should we just brainstorm for a sec?
Oh, we don't have any questions?
We don't have any questions.
We don't have any questions.
Is there anything you've been thinking about or you want to talk about?
Anything I've been thinking about. I think about questions all the time. That's the third thing.
Let's talk about self-improvement or
okay.
Like health and wellness.
All right. Like, what am I doing to continue that?
Yeah, because it's like obviously you spend a lot of time working and or pursuing work-related stuff.
Yeah, playing soccer, I think that's a big thing that keeps my mental health and keeps my physical health at the same time. I have fallen I would say this summer I've fallen a little out of line from the eating aspect. Just a little out of line. Then I'm more than usual. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, not compared to a lot of people, but definitely more. I'm like, oh, I usually don't eat like this. Like, oh, this is like I'm eating some crackers. I only do this on occasion. I don't do this as much as I just did or something like that. Yeah. But again, being aware, right? Mental health piece, constantly asking myself questions, the self-awareness thing. We hit a lot of those points today, right? Episode 1.
Episode one.
But I hit a lot of those points today. We hit a lot of those points just continuing with the mental health. And then I always thinking about, am I happy? Nearly every single time I'm like, yes. How about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm happy. I was just thinking about something. Do you think that part of your happiness is just being so busy and like being so like just doing so much stuff that you don't have like time for like rumination? And is I think one thing that I struggle with is just like not being busy enough, like not having direction.
Yeah, I definitely think it puts off some of my stuff that I definitely need to be working on. Being so busy, I always use that excuse. That's definitely my number one excuse. Is being, I'm too busy for that. I can't do that. I'm just like, I'm so tired because I've been so busy. Stuff like that. So like doing some of the background work, the Instagram, the bookkeeping, all the other stuff, definitely been putting it off because I've been so physically busy. But I have no excuse when school starts, because I will have my mornings and early afternoons back. So
school?
Once school starts for
the
kiddos. Children, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so then I have no excuse. Just like the gym, I have no excuse. What was the question again?
We were talking about like health and wellness, with regards to staying busy. Rather than being stagnant.
I don't know. I don't know anything but being busy. That's the thing. But I definitely think it gives me it's giving me an excuse to not do certain things too. I think it's been a good and a bad thing. I think again, it's like everything. There's always going to be some good. There's always going to be some bad. And sometimes I'm aware and I'm like, ugh, just can't do this right now. I'm so tired. Like I right now, tired.
Yeah, bro.
Just tired.
I think it's probably a good time to wrap it up.
Thanks for listening in.
This was Travis Garcia-Brownlee. Where can people find you on the internet?
They can find me at BP Soccer Academy. Follow me on Instagram. You guys can check. Dude, I sound so cheesy.
I got TikTok, Instagram.
Dude, I do not have TikTok. Do not download TikTok.
YouTube Reels.
Yeah, all on the YouTube. No, actually, I'm not YouTube.
No?
That's one thing I should be doing.
Yeah.
No. I only have
YouTube
Instagram.
Reels. Yeah.
I only do Instagram, but if you want to check out the page. I sound so corny, dude.
Dude, no one is gonna.
It's just gonna be no one.
Literally nobody.
Dude, it's fun though. I had a great time.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was a good time.
I wonder if anyone's actually gonna make it this far. We're definitely gonna cut out that like.
If you made it this far, comment 12566.
Is that your forward last name? Your social security number?
No, it isn't. But I wish I did.
All right. Before we
Peace.
get too rowdy. Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
Dude, you need an intro or an outro.
I do.